greed and speculation. Bring it on! Bring it on! See, our economy's been all but destroyed, and we have to build a new one, a whole new one, based on good jobs, not bad debt, with America investing in and exporting technology and world-class products, not financial crisis, where hard work is rewarded, not colossal failure, where workers have a real voice because they have a freedom to have a union if they want one, and where all of us have the health care that we need and we deserve. That's what we can do when we get these bankers and their treachery under control. That's what we can do when we decide as a nation to put people first and the financial economy somewhere at the back of the train. You see, the American dream isn't a dream about the top 1%. The American promise isn't a promise that a few can live well off of their assets while the many can barely live. Today, we're here to redeem the real promise of America, our America, a stronger America that provides everybody the opportunity to work, to contribute, and to succeed. And that's why we're here. Not just to get angry, not just to get outraged, although there's plenty of anger and plenty to be outraged about. We're here to make a difference, to clean up Wall Street's reeking garbage that's contaminating Main Street. And I want every single person here to commit one thing, to call your member of Congress, not just today, but every single day, and let them know 4 things. 1, give us a consumer financial protection agency. 2, reform the Fed or create an agency that's capable of stopping systemic risk. 3, regulate the shadow markets before they do more damage. And 4, reform corporate governance and CEO compensation to protect working people who are long-term investors and not speculators. Will you do that? Will you do that every day until we pass health care and get this re-regulation done? Will you do that? Will you stand together? Will you fight together? Will you take on the bankers together? And then we'll win together, brothers and sisters. Let's do it. It starts right here with all of us standing together. God bless you. Now, brothers and sisters, there's someone else here I'd like you to meet. Armando Robles is president of UE Local 1110 at what previously was Republic Windows and Doors here in Chicago. He was a maintenance mechanic at the factory for 8 years. But last year on December 2nd, he and 260 of his co-workers learned their factory doors would close in 3 days. Bank of America, which had received billions in taxpayer bailouts, cut off the company's line of credit. The workers were about to lose their jobs and their promised severance pay and their promised vacations. But instead, like David, the union workers united to face down a giant. They staged a 6-day sit-in that inspired the country and won the support from their neighbors all the way to the White House. And if they didn't have a union, Armando and his co-workers would have gone home empty-handed. If the big banks had their way, these workers would have nothing. Instead, they won $1.75 million in settlement from the Bank of America and JP Chase. Let me introduce you to a working family hero, Armando Robles. Armando.
Thank you, brother. Good morning, brothers and sisters. It's my pleasure to be here to demand the banks and the government to bail out the workers. When we bid on Republic Windows and Doors, we suffer the worst things happen in all American families, losing our jobs with no notice. And I remember the owner, not the owner, but one of the manager from the company said, we can't do it. They don't want to do nothing. We should do what the public workers did. Everybody has to do it, no matter what. For dignity, for respect, for our families, for the working class. And the banks still do the same thing. They still doing the same thing. Recently, and last summer, the Wells Fargo, they closed the Quad City Die Casting, a sister local from UE, and keep doing it everywhere in the country. So we have to stand up. And it's my pleasure to introduce Kim Scribner, which is the president of the local of UE from Quad City Die Casting. Thank you very much, brothers and sisters.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. 5.5 million workers lost their jobs in the past year. Workers didn't create the crisis, but we sure are paying for it. It's time for that to change. Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and Chase caused our economic crisis. Together, they received $330 billion in taxpayer bailouts and backstops and are not using our money to fight our reforms that would protect us in the future. Banks, CEOs, report to the taxpayers. Come on, get up here! People are now the largest shareholders in our banks. On behalf of the 5.5 million workers who lost their jobs in the past year and the millions of workers struggling to make it across the country, we have your pink slips. We say you're fired! We say you're fired! Ken Lewis, CEO Bank of America, you're fired! Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan Chase Bank, you're fired! John Stump, CEO of Wells Fargo, you're fired! You're fired! Fire to the people!
Brothers and sisters, with the foreclosure crisis and the skyrocketing unemployment, it's taken a huge toll on our public budgets, pushing government to make steep cuts in education and health care and public services, services that we need and deserve. Across the country, states are looking at $350 billion budget shortfalls just over the next 2 years. In Illinois alone, we have a $12 billion budget shortfall. Just in our state, we could soon see 150,000 students lose financial aid, up to $3 for a single ride on the CTA, and cuts in public health programs at a time when we need more protection than ever. As many as 10,000 children could be cut off from early childhood education programs. 1,000 more workers could be laid off, adding to unemployment rolls and further weakening our economy. To help us understand the real-life harm that cuts to vital services could cause, are Jack Wisniewski, a University of Chicago grad student, the Reverend Robert Bushy from the